NBA, 4K Trey, Ja Morant strikes again. NBA for Ja Morant stands for never balling again. That nigga would rather shoot Glockies on social media than play multi-millionaire dollar basketball. This nigga cannot be stopped from tweaking. Ja Morant has an addiction to waving guns, Casamigos, Anejo, the dark version. You know, because that's what the cognac sippers be dripping on. I don't understand it. I don't understand it, man. Look, first time I talked about Ja Morant, I showed a lot of grace. You feel me? Like, hey, man, black people are under a lot of pressure in America to maintain a certain type of image, right? And, you know, I got some flack for it. And understandably so, because Ja Morant's not like every other black person. And I said this, but with this coming up a second time, after already being reprimanded, I think it needs to be emphasized. Ja Morant is a very unique individual. There's only so many NBA caliber players in the world. He's a very unique individual who can get a multi-million-dollar contract solely off his athletic ability. And, you know, it just doesn't add up to throw all of that away for 150 people on Instagram Live. That wasn't even his Instagram Live. It was his homie's Instagram Live. But you know what the crazy part is? I don't even think his homie knew he was going to pull the gun out. I don't think his homie knew. I think his homie thought Ja was going to chill, you know, just like turn up to some NBA Youngboy. This nigga Ja had to let the world know he had the strap on him. Now look, there's nothing illegal about letting the world know you got the strap on you. But that doesn't fit with the NBA's image. All right, a lot of people are saying the NBA is wrong for punishing Ja Morant. Let's be very transparent about this. Ja Morant and every other basketball player contracted with the NBA is exactly that. They're contracted with the NBA. The NBA is a private institution, so they get to choose what values they uphold and what values they don't uphold. Now, someone pointed out Chris Kaman. You know, when he was an all-star, he posted like 3 pics of him with guns, holding up guns to his head, you know, holding up guns, just flashing guns, footage of him shooting guns, you know, just all this different type of stuff, saying that is, you know, hypocritical. You know, people aren't being consistent with this ruling. No. Chris Kaman was displaying those guns in a house and on a gun range. You know, he wasn't on social media waving it around recklessly to NBA Youngboy. Now, I do see why people can pull the race card on that. And, you know, I'd be lying if I said that it wasn't some validity to it. For example, there are a lot of people out there who are just saying Ja Morant's a thug and to lock him up. That's insane. That's insane. We don't know Ja Morant. We don't know what his background is. I don't think anyone has confirmed whether he's come from a poor background or a rich background. Like, we've seen the pictures of him in the colorful Abercrombie fits, but let's be honest, everybody was wearing Abercrombie fits back in 2012, 2010. Like, that was just the norm. You feel me? Like, it was a weird time. It was a strange time. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, the fact of the matter is the NBA markets itself towards families. There's certain rap songs that aren't going to get played at NBA games because of what they talk about. If you look at the soundtrack for 2K be having some really exotic tracks in there sometimes. That's because they have to. It's not because they don't have the money to pay rappers for what is it? Fucking streaming right? I don't know what the fuck the rights to play the fucking song in the game. It's not because they don't have the money. It's because they have a brand that has to be consistent. Whoops, dropped my lighter. They have a brand that has to be consistent with kids. It's like Fortnite. The NBA and Fortnite, they got the same market. Fortnite doesn't have any cuss words in the dance. None. When they playing any NBA Youngboy songs, they playing any Dirk songs, any hip hop songs, they take out all the explicit language because they can't come anywhere close to that. Ja Morant, you can't do anything that would threaten a family image of yourself. That's just it. Unless you don't want to play basketball in the NBA. If you don't want to do that, you ain't got to do that, nigga. You don't have to. You didn't do anything illegal. You didn't do anything illegal getting on Instagram Live, waving the gun around your head. You didn't do anything illegal, but you did something reckless within the scope of the NBA. A punishment is absolutely necessary because you're displaying that you haven't learned anything from the first grievance. And the first grievance was already a lot what the NBA gave you. They gave you a lot of leeway, man. Ja Morant spent like 8 days in rehab. He learned how to quote unquote anxiety breathe. Nigga, what? He said he had a Reiki treatment. Like, nigga, what? Nigga, do you have a therapist now? Are you committed to Alcoholics Anonymous? Now look, we don't know if alcohol's the trigger. But I seen a clip of Ja Morant sipping Casamigos like it was a Miller Lite, straight out the bottom. That's not normal. You can't drink like that unless you've already been drinking like that. That nigga was sipping liquor straight. He was sipping tequila like it was ginger ale. Alright. It was a refreshing beverage to him, straight out the bottle. This shit's insane, man. The shit is insane, man. And you know, bro, JJ Redick, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. Like, why are you going so hard for Ja Morant? Like, this player's first narrative needs to fucking stop. Like, we need to hold players and people accountable. Like, I was just up here talking about the biggest thing to anybody's health is accountability. Ja Morant facing pints of tequila isn't healthy, regardless of how you cut it, even if he's blessed to be athletically gifted. Okay? Ja Morant repeating the same mistake that threatening his fucking multi-millionaire dollar contract with the NBA and with Nike isn't professionally healthy. That doesn't make sense as a professional. Like, JJ Redick, you hoop. You played in the NBA. You know that you know this is a family league. Like, what are you talking about? That wasn't within boundaries. Like, it'd be one thing if Ja Morant was a scrub. All right, if he was a bench player, he was fucking what am I thinking of? I can't even remember his name. If he was a random hood booger on the Charlotte Hornets, he's on the Charlotte Hornets. I tell you that. That's the fucking projects of the NBA right now. If he was a random hood booger on the Charlotte Hornets coming off the bench, wouldn't nobody give a fuck if he was waving pistols around his head? Like, bro, nobody would give a fuck if he wasn't a multi-millionaire dollar player. That behavior is fucking up the money. All right. You got old black influencers coming out on social media talking about, I wouldn't let my kids wear Ja Morant shoes after the behavior he displayed. Nigga, you don't want to be that image right now. Because it'd be one thing if you was just out here hooping in the streets. You know what I mean? Like, if you was just out here hooping on the block, it'd be one thing. You could represent whatever image you wanted to. You could be you in the fullest sense. But you're not. You're hooping for the NBA, which is a private organization. And a lot of people have been throwing around the label rich slave. Get fucking real. Get fucking real. $250 million, the potential to get $250 million. Do you know how you can leverage that cash? Now, a lot of NBA players don't. But then you got niggas like LeBron James, who built a school for the kids who need it out in Akron. Ja Morant, you have that potential. I don't understand why this image has to be promoted. Maybe you really are from that life. I don't fucking know. I'm not gangster. I don't make the rules on the shit. Nobody fucking knows. You know. But you also know where you're at right now. So you can choose to fit in one mode, or you can choose to fit in another mode. And I do think a punishment is coming. You know, the signs are there. They're talking about they took down Ja Morant's shoes off the Nike website, just like how they took Kyrie's shoes off the Nike website. So we're going to see what happens next. But hey, man, Ja Morant, folks, you're moving out of pocket. Get it together, because we still trying to see you hoop. All right. Man, let's move on to the next topic, man. Motherfuckers talking about free Ja.